Last August, my cousin Derek, our friend Mason and I rented a beach house in Cape Cod. Derek's family had a friend who owned it, but they hadn't used it in years. It was a 2-story relic, weathered by salt and time, perched precariously at the edge of a vast stretch of dunes. The nearest house was miles away. Just us, the endless sand and the restless ocean. At first, it felt like paradise. The isolation was a luxury, the sunsets painting the water in hues of orange and pink each evening. We spent our first couple of nights drinking on the back deck, strolling the beach under a moonlit sky and laughing like it was our last carefree summer before adulthood crept in. But by the third night, an unease settled over me. The air grew thick, heavy with an unspoken presence. You know that primal gut instinct, the kind that prickles your skin and whispers you're being watched? I didn't mention it at first. It sounded irrational, the kind of thing you brush off with a laugh. That night, Derek and I were on the back deck, nursing beers around midnight. Mason had turned in early, complaining of a headache. We were mid-laugh when I caught a flicker of movement out in the dunes, about 40 or 50 feet from the house. A shadow loomed, distinct from the swaying grass or the driftwood scattered across the sand. It didn't move with the wind. It was still. Too still. I nudged Derek and pointed. He squinted, dismissing it as probably just a rock or driftwood. But then it shifted. Not a casual rise or step. It slid backward, low to the ground, almost crawling on all fours with an eerie speed. Within seconds, it melted into the deeper grass, vanishing like it had never been there. I shot to my feet, locking the sliding door with a trembling hand. Derek rolled his eyes, but the colour had drained from his face. He was spooked too. We didn't speak much after that, retreating to our rooms around 1 a.m., the silence between us louder than words. The next morning, I ventured out after breakfast to investigate. The dunes revealed no footprints, no clear evidence, but the grass where I'd seen the shape was flattened, pressed down as if something heavy had crouched there for hours. The sight sent a chill through me, though I couldn't explain why. That night the house felt different, charged with a tense, suffocating energy. Mason barely touched his dinner, his usual chatter replaced by a distant stare. Around 3:10 a.m. I jolted awake to Mason shaking my shoulder, his face pale in the dim light. "Something's outside my window," he whispered. His room overlooked the backyard and the dunes. He described waking to faint shuffling on the deck, slow, deliberate footsteps circling the house. Then the back door handle rattled, a subtle testing as if someone or something didn't want to alert us. The sounds stopped, replaced by 3 soft, spaced-out knocks. Knock, 5 seconds of silence. Knock, another pause. Then a final knock, and an oppressive silence that pressed against the walls. We abandoned our rooms, huddling in the living room with every light blazing. No one spoke, the weight of the unknown binding us together. By morning, Mason was adamant about leaving. I agreed. The place felt wrong. But Derek, ever the skeptic, convinced us to stay one more night, chalking it up to paranoia ruining our trip. Reluctantly, we agreed, promising ourselves it'd be the last. That final night, we dragged our sleeping bags into the living room, seeking safety in numbers. Around 2 a.m, the power flickered, the lights dimming but clinging to life. Outside, the world was unnaturally still. No wind, no waves lapping the shore. Then we heard it. Slow, deliberate footsteps on the roof. One at a time, cautious, as if whatever was up there didn't want to be detected. The sound crawled toward the edge, accompanied by a faint scratching, nails or claws dragging across the shingles, deliberate and menacing. Derek's voice broke the silence, a shaky whisper. "What the hell is that?" We froze, hearts pounding. Then something slammed against the back window, a wet, heavy thud that rattled the glass. Not a knock, but a visceral impact, like flesh or something slick striking the pane. We didn't dare look. The sound ceased as abruptly as it began, leaving only the hum of the dim lights. We sat there, rigid, until sunrise pierced the horizon. When the first rays hit, we packed in under 10 minutes, skipping breakfast, our laughter replaced by a shared, unspoken dread. The drive home was silent until we were halfway there, the tension finally breaking into fragmented questions none of us could answer. About a week later, Derek sent me a news link. A local man, mid-50s, had been found dead in the dunes, not far from our rental. No visible wounds, no signs of struggle, just his body, sprawled in the sand as if he'd collapsed mid-step. He'd gone for a walk around 11 p.m. and never returned. The cause of death was listed as undetermined. No trauma, no signs of dehydration or stroke, just a man who stopped, like something had reached into him and taken what it needed, leaving the body behind. Reading that sent a ripple of cold through me. I wanted to believe it was coincidence, but deep down I knew we all did. Whatever we had seen or felt out there, it wasn't a figment of imagination. It was real, and it didn't like to be watched. That night, I couldn't sleep. Not from fear, not exactly. It was more like a sense of unfinished business, like the dunes weren't done with me yet.
He's been more withdrawn, quieter. None of us have gone near a beach since. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and feel like the house is too quiet, like the kind of silence that listens back. And every so often, when the wind blows just right, I swear I can still hear the dunes calling us back.